Hey everybody, welcome to the Gotham After Show on the stream.tv. Holy smokes, Batman, what an episode. Batman, he's not on this show. We are back to discuss what I feel like has been 4 of the best episodes in the history of Gotham and its illustrious 2-year history. And with me, as always, are my super friends. We've got Mark to my left, and we've got Kristin to my right. And later on, we're going to be joined by the admirable, honorable, I lost what I was going to say, David Fichtenmeyer. But let's get into this episode that was action-packed. First things first, we've got a penguin facing off with a tigress. In the animal kingdom, that would be very one-sided. In the city of Gotham, the penguins doesn't go down so easily. The tigress has to use a little manipulation, kidnapping, as a matter of fact. We have Oswald Cobblepot meeting Theo Gallivan and his lovely sister, whose real name I can never remember and only remember her as Tigress.
It's Tabitha.
Tabitha. Like Tabby Cat. Now I'll never forget. And we find out that Theo Gallivan has kidnapped Oswald's mother. What the hell? So now the Penguin and Galavan are seemingly in cahoots. I was personally stunned by this development. I don't know how you two felt.
It's definitely a weird one to like think about, and it's I just don't want to get into like the end of the episode, but I'm super like upset because you don't mess with someone's mother. You just don't ever do that.
Mr. T has gone on record saying you don't mess with mothers.
Thank you.
Right.
Mr. T is a good man.
Right.
And I say that not knowing very much about Mr. T because I didn't know that.
Right.
So,
Okay.
All right, great.
But what do you mean? Like, I mean, but Penguin's like being forced to be in cahoots
Right.
with him. So it's not like they're in cahoots and planning a lot of things together. What I don't understand is why is Theo Gallivan having Penguin do all of the murdering when he has all these other people that can murder for him?
Yeah.
Like, do you know why he pulled in Penguin?
it's got to be because he's a name that he can blame it on.
Yeah.
Like, if it's just some rando dude, he can just be like, oh, no, they just died. Like, what happened?
Oh,
it's just
that's
this rando
true.
guy. But
if they know who it
if
is.
it's this guy, then we can decide that he's the person that's going to be the figure that has to be toppled before my marehood
good
can
theory,
actually have
Kristin.
something.
Right.
Sorry.
That's good.
And yeah, so we find out Theo Gallivan running for mayor. We have other candidates, and they need to drop out of the race. And as is the Gotham style, you can't just quit. You must die. Even if you claim
Exactly.
and beg for your life. With the saddest claim I've ever heard, smiling through this makes me feel like a monster, but that woman was like, please, I'm a mother. I was like, what?
Not only are you smiling, but you're smiling and laughing. I'm a mother.
Well, because Gotham, like that stuff is so over the top, and I love it. Like there's the thing with this season of Gotham. I feel like last season it went back. It kind of altered through all the different Batman styles. You had Tim Burton-y Batman. You had a little Adam West throwback Batman style thrown in there, and then they would go like super serious, gritty, real Christopher Nolan Batman. This year they're like, it's like Burton and Batman 66, and that's it. There's no gritty. Like everyone's over the top. Like even like a woman screaming like, "Please, I'm a mother," is like then she's cartoonishly stabbed, blood fountains out of her, and you're like, God, if that was like an episode of Law and Order, I'd be bawling right now. But this show makes
Instead, you're laughing.
Right. Instead, I'm just like, God, they're all monsters. All of them are monsters. Anyway.
No, I totally agree. I feel like last season we didn't quite have where we wanted to go with the show. I felt like some of the actors were like, oh, we're in Campbelltown. And some of the actors were like, but this is a serious Nolan drama. And when those actors in Campbelltown acted together, it was amazing. And then when the Nolan actors acted together, it was amazing. But if they became into the same world, it was just like, ah!
What's happening?
No,
Yeah.
this doesn't match. And this year, I think we finally got the flow, and it's starting to feel really good and real, and I like that a lot better. And by real, I mean Gotham real, which is still outlandish and amazing.
Yes.
But it's super fun, and I totally agree.
Yes. So we've got the penguin being extorted. A penguin under duress is a dangerous penguin, as I say, as I've said once before, 5 seconds ago. Now we get to finally see something I've been excited for since they announced it, the casting announcement. Michael Chiklis is in Gotham. Nathan Barnes, cleaning house, fired 1/3 of the GCPD instantly. My biggest
Arrested one of them.
Arrested one of them for talking back. Sassing will get you the Miranda rights in Gotham. My question is, like, if he was arresting or firing the crooked cops in Gotham, how was Harvey Bullock not just shot? For like, he's the most corrupt of all of them. He was like implied to have had a sexual affair with Fish Mooney, who was like the number 3 mafioso in Gotham last season. Like, but yet he was like, Bullock, you stay. You seem to have had a change of heart. Like,
Yeah. Well, he's an AA now, so
Right.
he's a changed man.
That's true.
Also, I don't know why he didn't arrest all of them. Like, he just arrested the one guy, but they had all committed felonies, and that was why they were not allowed to be in the GCPD
He was
anymore.
using him as a warning sign to the others. He's like, I'm letting you off easy, but if you talk back, I'm going to arrest you.
Right.
I called
So
BS.
it was an example.
I called BS.
Yeah, no,
Just
I
arrest
mean-
them all. Clean house.
He did clean house. I mean, he arrested one. He cleaned house. He fired all of them.
Plus, there were 9 already dead.
Right.
So they're running out of
Oh
cops.
my God, you're right. Oh,
Yeah.
But also, that's so terrible. But also, like, if he still did fire them, so he still doesn't have those cops.
So that's 16
Exactly.
cops gone,
Down.
17 counting Essen.
Right.
You know, we gained one back in Bullock. That's one less bartender in Gotham. But yeah,
we
Barnes
need a
cleaned house.
drink.
And that gave us my favorite thing in the episode, I think, which was Jim Gordon, Scout Pack leader, as he got to go to Gotham.
And handpick his team from the police academy.
Yes, yes.
I saw a lot of missed opportunities for humor there.
I agree. I think there should have, like,
Some old police academy references.
yeah, there should have been like a high tower and a hooks. I think we were all kind of like laughing along with this. Like, the interview process was like they batted 1,000. Like, they interviewed like 4 candidates. The diversity was there. They all had like a chip on their shoulder.
They all had a
but not evil.
backstory
Yeah.
about being wronged as children, their parents or their families.
I wanted them to like interview one guy who was just real boring. They're like, "This is Jim Davis, creator of Garfield." No, this is this is Jim Davis. He just kind of hangs out. He's a whiz with computers, though, and they're like, "Pass."
Totally
We need
hates
Goody-
Mondays.
Yeah, he hates.
We need him in on Mondays.
Loves lasagna day, though. Can't get enough of it. We should do a Garfield after show where we just read.
Is there an actual show?
Oh, I mean, I think Jim Davis has been dead for 5 years, so the after show would just be a tribute. We've laughed at enough death
It's like-
tonight. Guys, if you feel like the laughing at death is inappropriate, you can always tweet at us. Use the hashtag GothamAS. We will answer the tweets. There it is. You see it pop up right there? This way? This is over
There
here.
it is.
I'm tickling it now. The Gotham
There it
AS.
is.
Yes.
There it
Tweet
is.
at us. Say, you monsters, take death a little more seriously, because someday the Reaper will come for you. Or just tweet that you like the show. What happened next? Oh, Alfred. My man, Alfred, out of F's to give. He is done.
Just
Alfred.
slapped the 14-year-old girl across the
No!
face.
So not okay. Like, so not
Well,
okay that
that's-
it's
was her-
so not okay.
I don't know. It was her only punishment for murdering somebody.
That's true.
She
Okay.
murdered somebody and she
Okay.
got slapped harshly across the face.
If I knew my first murder,
That's
on the
all
books,
it was?
my only punishment would be a swift slap from Alfred.
From an old British man.
I would be like, yeah, okay, I've got a few people on a list. I don't know. Let's take one off, call up an old English gentleman and take a
that's it,
slap.
yeah.
In Gotham, we don't do a slap on the wrist. We
No.
do a slap in the face.
But here's what I'm hoping that is coming from that. Like, the reason that they played it back in, that she did murder somebody last season who had basically already given them what they wanted,
Right.
is I'm hoping that maybe this will be the shift in her character, and maybe she'll get a little bit more morality. I mean, Catwoman is generally morally ambiguous.
Right.
But yeah, I'm hoping that now it'll play in, and maybe she won't ever kill again.
Yeah.
And then it will bring it back to the comic book origins.
I hope
Except for
so, too.
killing Black Mask, you know.
Well, you know.
But that was a special occasion.
Everybody gets to treat
Yeah.
themselves once in a while.
Right.
And then, we also saw a little bit of Alfred you know, clearly his main thing is keeping Bruce safe, and that's his main concern, although he did strike Bruce before.
Oh my God, that's 2 small children.
He
He's
hits children a lot.
You know, Alfred
children.
is from a bygone era where corporal punishment was not only accepted, it was encouraged. Like, let me tell you, maybe if I had Alfred slapping me a little more as a child, I wouldn't have turned out this way. I don't know. I mean, I think it could help. And then he also sadistically made Bruce run 2.6 miles home in his suit.
Without giving him a chance to change in the limo. Like, so I guess he's just going to change on the side of the road and then carry his clothes while he's jogging.
An important Easter egg, perhaps, that is going to teach young Bruce Wayne the valuable lesson of a quick change, which we know he's going to have to do when he becomes Batman. He's going to have to shed a lot of suits. I imagine
It's a good point.
that in Gotham, once Batman...
Idiotic one, but a good one.
Yeah, most of my points are. Like there are probably no less than 50,000 suits that fit Bruce Wayne's exact measurements in dumpsters throughout Gotham City, like when Batman is an adult, because he is constantly leaving social functions to become Batman, and I don't ever see him neatly fold a suit.
I know. Well, I'm wondering if it's like Spider-Man where he stashes them somewhere. You know, Spider-Man hangs them somewhere where nobody can get them.
That's a good
But
point.
when does he go collect them?
I
I guess
have
when
the
he's
idea-
swinging around doing his rounds.
Like a retractable suit, like it just goes into one of the utility belt pockets.
Right.
Just like he hits a button and the suit just rips
Well,
off.
now we're talking like the
and
comic
then-
book Flash
yeah,
thing
just
with
like-
the
Yeah.
compressed
ring.
fabric.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, there was a lot of death, there was a lot of pain, but there was also a little bit of love on Gotham tonight. Nygma finally cracked the most elusive riddle of all, the Kringle code, and he got Kristin Kringle over to his Nygma lair. What did he call it? Chez moi? Chez moi. He was like, which
My place.
yeah, like a very clever French riddle to get her to come over. Pretty boss move. Like, make up a fake restaurant, have it be your huge apartment in New York, or Gotham, sorry. Again, another character who doesn't probably make a lot of money, has a pretty nice place, although I did notice it was a studio. The bed was right by the door. And that date had a little rocky road, but I gotta say, Nygma handled it like a pro. Like a boss, some would say, and got Kringle to stick around a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on worse dates. I've
Yeah.
been on worse dates where like worse things have happened, and those.
Where your date alludes to having murdered the person that you thought just left town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday.
I mean, who hasn't uttered out, I'm glad he's dead at a date before?
I mean.
Just somebody that didn't know he
Oh
was
my
dead.
God! Can we do that? Can we just go on like a date?
Could have ruined the date.
and just see how many people go like, hey, you know what? I'm really not that into it. Just like a staged date. I think that'd be really fun. Just say the exact things that he says.
It seems to me like it's pretty well known, like, a pretty good move when a date's going bad is to admit you have a voice in your head.
I know,
Like,
I
you'd be
was
like,
like-
hey, it's not me.
like-
I'm sorry, this isn't going the way you wanted it
She
to.
now suspects you of murdering somebody. Good time to let her know that you hear voices.
You're also
She already suspected him because of the Nygma.
Right, because of the notes he'd
Yeah.
been sending her, yeah.
She referenced that and then laughed it off. She's not a very good
She-
riddle
she-
solver.
She shook it off in the bathroom. She was
Yeah.
like, you know what? He's still pretty cute.
Yeah.
In season
Maybe we can
one,
make this
she was
work.
like the only female character that was also smart. Because in the first season there were a couple of dummies. But
Couple of damn dummies.
in like she was the only one that was kind of smart. That she was like, you're not pulling one over on me. And then in this season, I think they're kind of downplaying her smartness. I hope she comes back to the smart zone. As a fellow Kristin, I would love her to not die.
Yeah.
Please
A
don't
fellow
let her
Kristin
die.
with similar hair.
Yes, I totally did this. I totally did this before I even saw the episode. So I did. No.
Well, just as we saw new relationships beginning, we saw the end of, perhaps the end of one of my favorite romances and bromances on TV. Cobblepot and Gordon kind of having it out at the end of the episode, and the severing of their uneasy alliance that has brought them both a lot of joy over the last few episodes. And ultimately at the end of the episode, we see that Barnes is now making Cobblepot public enemy number one in Gotham. So I personally, I'm a little sad to think that Gordon and Cobblepot will no longer be in cahoots for their little schemes. I mean, we know eventually in the Batman lore, Cobblepot and Gordon are going to be mortal enemies, fighting on the sides of good and evil. But I like the ambiguity Cobblepot not being quite so diabolical yet.
Yeah, well, and also, I mean, it's hard to say with this show. I mean, they could still have this uneasy alliance for like a little while, like, because somebody's always going to get something on another person, or it could be the beginning of Cobblepot going the very dark route, although he's already been pretty dark.
That's true. He did stab a random guy for his tuna sandwich.
I mean, first season, he was the
Yeah.
darkest, most violent scenes were all his.
I guess he just is occasionally he's able to rise to the occasion, and usually opportunistically. Like you said, he's a problem solver,
Right.
and sometimes the problem solving for him has included helping the GCPD. So I guess you're right. I mean, he is pretty evil already.
Well, also, he seems to like the dirty work.
Yeah.
Like, he tends to do it himself, as the mob bosses we saw first season always had other people do the dirty work for them, you know.
I really hope that it ends up being a moment where Cobblepot relies on his history with Gordon to, once he's really under the gun by Galavan, to go over to him and be like, hey, I need your help. Like, and I know that I told you to basically GTFO like 2 episodes ago, but like, could you help me out here, because like they've got my mom. And what I really hope, and this is super fucked up, but I really hope that
Like
it's on Gordon that Mama dies. I feel like it has to be. And that's why they can be mortal enemies. I don't think that's the way it's gonna go, but if it was, oh my God, talk about a reason to hate someone.
Yeah.
And I think at this point in the season, the ultimate wild card from last season that's still a series regular is Bullock. Like, he really hasn't. All he's kind of done is like come back to the GCPD, and he's like a very restrained version of like, which I don't mind. I mean, I thought he was a little over the top last year.
I was just going to say, I would like to applaud the Gotham writers and directors for that.
But if you're going to make his character the one who, initially introduced Jim to the corruption of the GCPD, I don't think that he could quite make the complete 180 to like
That
perfect,
quickly.
perfect like law-abiding police officer.
It was the booze.
That's true.
Now that he gave it up, he's
the demon
totally
alcohol.
fine.
Don't I know it? There was a time when I was a police officer. That's a complete lie. Guys, we are very excited. Once again, we have last season's host, this season's host from the remote test, David Fichtenmeyer, joining us.
On location.
On location from St. Louis. David, are you there?
I am. How you guys doing?
David, we are doing well. We missed you. We miss you every day, David, my sweet David. So first of all, before we get into the question, what did you think of tonight's episode?
I really liked it. I think maybe the one thing that stood out the most to me this episode was the cinematography. I thought the staging of the scenes and how they were shot was very, very good. Especially like the Riddler scene with Miss Kringle, the green and the green backlit coming from outside. A lot of the restaurants that Bruce was in, or when Jim Gordon was in the academy, the reflection in the glass of himself and kind of making that dual layer where he's looking at himself in the mirror. I don't know. I thought the cinematography was great this episode.
Anything you disliked?
Zaz being a punk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shouldn't have missed that many times.
No, I know you're a Zaz perfectionist, which I enjoy. You don't like Zaz missing, and you don't like Zaz I mean, I did enjoy his line, "That was unexpected," when he took a bullet in the shoulder.
That was so good.
It was a funny.
I mean, like, my heart skipped a beat. I almost thought they were going to kill Zaz off. I was like, oh no, I'm done.
David,
I'm
I would
done.
not have made you come on the show that quickly after if they had killed off Zaz. I know you would have needed
A
48
mourning
hours
process.
to decompress. All right, so
Yeah.
let's get on to the fan question. I found this at Den of Geek, which is a fantastic geek blog, Den of Geek. They do a great written wrap-ups of the episodes, episode recaps that are fantastic. And what I did is I actually went back and read their recap from last week's episode, just because I enjoy stuff like that. And I found a question in their comment section. This is from Gothfan, and Gothfan proposes, do we think that possibly Dr. Francis Duhlmacher, a.k.a. the Dollmaker, could resurrect Jerome? Last season he threatened Fish that he would kill her and then bring her back to life in many different pieces. So we know that he's implying that he can kind of Dr. Frankenstein someone. David, do you think there's any chance the Dollmaker is going to bring Jerome back?
I will respond to that theory with another theory, which I've been stating for, 24 episodes of Gotham now. He's not the Joker, and he's dead.
All right.
Dead.
All right, David. I like that theory. I tend to agree with you. Thank you for joining us. I hope we can get you back next week. As always, your intelligence amazes me. Farewell. You got it. All right. So, Mark, Kristin, now we let David answer. He obviously feels like Jerome is dead and not the Joker. Do either you guys think we have the Duelmacher theory? You have another theory?
I do have another theory, and it's a theory brought on by one of our friends who commented on our episode last week, and I'm currently writing a blog about it, so check out our blog that I will eventually write about it, but it has a little bit to do with Jerome and a little bit to do with Ra's al Ghul. And if you understand the reference that I'm making, you're just as excited as I am, and I can't wait for you guys to read it a little bit later in the week.
Oh, all right. A very cryptic answer.
Yeah.
Or non-answer. Mark, do you want to just speak in riddles to us?
Let me see if I can make less sense.
Perfect.
Actually, no. I mean, I think he's dead. I mean, I don't think somebody comes back from that the way we saw him die,
Right.
and I think it was inciting, like the inspiration whole thing for. I mean, I don't think there's a great big mystery there.
Well, hopefully there's bigger mysteries aside from Jerome's death. We got to take a quick break right now. We've got a quick message from the stream.tv. Stick around. We'll be back with YouTube comments and Twitter shout-outs.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, this is for you.
I love it. That was freaking oh my god.
I didn't see any of this coming. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
I was like,
how did you get here? No.
Like, kill him. Kill him. Definitely kill him. We're cool. Shade.
Shade left and right, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies, let's put your 2 cents in.
Rubbed me the wrong way and the right way.
But you were like, well, we want to know what's going to happen.
That was cute.
We just want to say we love you all. Thank you so much for your support. You are all seriously the best in the world.
Another beautiful summer at the stream.tv, y'all.
Here we go, guys.
Thank you for being here. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
Welcome back to the Gotham After Show. Remember to tweet at us all of your comments at hashtag GothamAS. Write us a piece of written mail. Find us on the street and ask us a question. Identify yourself as a non-crazy person. Otherwise, we may run in the other direction. Now, me, I won't run very fast, but these two are in shape, so you'll have trouble catching them. So me, I'm the one you want to find in person is what I meant by that. And remember, you subscribe to the stream.tv, and you can watch all of our great after shows, especially Gotham, but there's other ones too that you just might enjoy as much or slightly less. Please don't hurt my feelings. Now, Kristin, you've been monitoring the old YouTube chat.
I have, and some of our fine friends have been live chatting. The first live chat question that I do see is from Farquaad.
Yeah.
And,
oh, my boy.
And he wants to know a little bit more about you and your first murder.
For Quad, it hasn't happened yet.
Which we alluded to earlier in the episode.
I just said if I could get away with murder by only getting an English gentleman's slap, I would consider it. Fuquad, I miss you so much, and I'm so glad you're back. Fuquad has been a loyal follower of our shows for so long, and it just brings joy to my heart to discuss murder with you here on this great program.
Maybe a follow-up then question would be, then who would be at the top of your list for somebody that you would murder?
Feel like
he knows who would be at the top of my list. Then he knows what he did.
He knows too much.
Wine glass into the fireplace.
Exactly.
I'm kidding, of course.
And just scream.
mild-mannered Tommy Bechtold by day.
You guys don't understand. I go home to my giant studio apartment every night. And I shout crying.
With a big stone fireplace.
Shout crying.
Shouting crying is the only way to do it. If you're crying just normally, you're missing out. Shout crying. The official crying style of Gotham After Show. Anyway, do we have any other questions that don't involve my criminal past?
Or future, which this does not count as evidence as, or for. But I would like to shout out just everyone that's in the live chat. I'm not going to name too many names, although I do want to say Martin Schweck, thanks so much, you're a doll. He said that Kristin...
I was hoping she wasn't going to tell us what he said. Just like, she was going to keep it private.
Just an allusion to something that I'm going to write a blog about later. But no, he said that I'm the alternate reality for Kristin Kringle. So
I see that.
Thank you and I love you.
Sure.
We did have a question for you, Mark, about Selena Kyle, and do you think that the slap in the face, you covered a little bit earlier, but the slap in the face from Alfred, do you think that's going to change her reality and perception?
I hope that his slaps have that much power.
With great slaps.
With great slaps come great responsibility. As I mentioned earlier, I kind of hope that it is a changing point when if like even just the threat of Alfred cutting off any contact of her with Bruce, like something where she realizes like, oh well, there's consequences. Yeah.
And that was from our friend Puerto Rico, which also awesome, thank you. Silver St. Cloud, a lot of people had some questions about that.
Another love interest.
Yeah, another love interest being introduced. So far
we've got another older lady. For Bruce.
Yeah, he loves him.
They all look like they're a few years older than him.
And and Silver St. Cloud is one of the few love interests of Bruce Wayne that deduces his actual.
Right, it's one of the few that knows his secret identity.
She figures out that he's Batman.
And it's a long-term on-again, off-again thing.
I like the introduction of her. It's interesting to make her Theo Gallivan's. But I think it's a very intentional, distant relative. He was like, what is his stepbrother's daughter? So it's like not a blood relative.
Yeah.
She could easily recover from his unfortunate demise at the end of this season and stick around Gotham for a while.
What's gonna happen?
Yeah, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe Theo Gallivan has a great run as mayor for like 10 years and just goes totally on the straight and narrow.
Complete
fixes
corrupt mayor. Could be.
Fixes the Gotham economy. I don't know. As long as the trains run on time, right? Isn't that what they say? Now,
Mussolini reference.
Was there any? No, Kristin, that's great. YouTube. Thank you for always chatting on the YouTube. We love talking with you guys. Even if you didn't get a chance to talk to us today, comment under the show, and we will try and get back to you as much as we can. Now, Mark, you were on Twitter. I'm sure people were complimenting your looks as much as they were Kristin's. But was there anything?
Could we get on that actually?
That caught your eye?
My ego is just deflated.
You gentlemen are very handsome, and I love sharing a screen with you.
Okay, tweet that out.
We're fishing.
I'll make it official later.
So I do want to give a shout out to Felix at Felix Nunez 249, who just decided to tell us his favorite moment of the week, which goes back to Alfred pimp slapping Selena, which is nice because it's also a reference to Selena's past and alternate realities.
Yes, make those illusions.
So thank you, Felix. He chimes in a lot, which is great. So also does the Basement Comms, which is Basement Commentaries, I believe. And so they tweeted out at us a bunch, and so did I think it was Alex at AJC17339, who has a theory that at the end of this season, Bruce is going to Roz for training.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what he's serious.
Interesting.
So I thought that deserved a little shout out and potential
theory
for the whole season.
I like that theory. You know, I think that overall, I had to think through 4 episodes, we are off and running. I think the show's moving a lot faster this year. I think that even though there are new characters, it's a little bit easier to understand. Last year I was kind of, I'm not a smart man, but I was jumping around. My brain was jumbled a little bit, a little Game of Thronesy for me, where I was like, wait, who is that guy again?
Too many characters.
Too many characters, too many cooks. So I think it's going great so far. Guys, we thank you for tuning in. We thank some of our favorite blogs, Bam Smack Pow, Cape Crusades, Gotham addicts, 100% Gotham women. Hello. We love you guys. We thank you for coming and contributing to the show every week, and we love reading what you have to say about the show as well. Remember to subscribe to the stream.tv, and we will see you next week for another episode of the Gotham After Show.
Hashtag Gotham AS.
Very nice.
For more of the Gotham After Show,
Click that button down there.
And subscribe to the stream.tv.